Do you ever have those moments where you get so excited about something that you just kind of get anxious about it and start talking really, really fast because you're just so excited about it that you have word vomit, that you just want to get it all out of your mouth, that you just, That's what I am feeling right now as I sit down to record this video, because this topic is my February faves. And I realize at the moment of filming this, February is definitely over. It's probably the first week of March or later on within the year, as you all are probably coming across this video. And I'm going to try to pace myself and not get word vomit throughout this video, because I'm just so excited to talk about all the things that I came across that I have been enjoying and loving during the month of February. So I have a list here in front of me on my phone, so that way I can slow down, pace myself, and not get overly excited to just share with you all the things that I have just been loving and enjoying, because February was definitely one of the shorter months, but it was a full month when it comes to just like new releases, things that rolled out, and things that I have been into. I have just been full of inspiration when it comes to that area. And that's why I think I'm so excited and just like anxious to just tell you all the things and get this video out, because there have been so many things that have just been like fueling me and inspiring me. So this video, it will be just a culmination of things like sewing things, shows, skincare, supplements. I just figured it would be best to just kind of put all of those things into one video and share them with you, and just kind of put together a list of just all the things. You know how like there's like a Oprah's list, a Angie's list, a Good Housekeeping list? I have my own list, okay? This is Shardy's list of things that I have just been loving, enjoying, and I think that's pretty much the kind of context and the cadence of most of my videos. While I might be documenting my sewing journey, I'm also going to just start documenting and sharing, some of the things that I have just really been into, okay? Not just my sewing ventures, but just other things that are keeping me excited and happy. So I'm going to stop yapping and get into this list of things that I have been enjoying, starting with sewing patterns that were released within the month of February and the early top of the year. So the first pattern I'm going to start with is Simplicity 3085. If you're a part of my creative crew, you have been following my journey online, you all know that my style when it comes to sewing and sewing patterns is I love feminine and sexy patterns, and also patterns that give you a little bit of comfort and also style. So this pattern in particular is right up my alley. It is a Madeline sewing pattern. It gives you a great kind of balance between sexy, but then also gives you a little bit of coverage, because this is a ankle length dress. You can include a little bit of lace as well as a solid or printed fabric. I love that this is a form-fitting dress, and I think it's right on trend with what I've been seeing as it relates to styles that have been in retail stores or just things that I've been seeing the girls into. I have been seeing a lot of outfits that are lace print or lace inspired, whether that is a full body one-piece suit and the material is lace, or whether it's a dress and it's predominantly lace. I think that this is right on trend with just some of the things that I've been coming across online. And I think that this is a beautiful pattern to just have in your stash if you like other sewing patterns that are more on the feminine and flirty side. I think that this is definitely a pattern to add to your collection. The next pattern that I came across is Simplicity 3094, and I think that this pattern is the perfect example of how somebody's perspective might be completely different from someone else's perspective, specifically because this is a costume pattern. Now, I know that if you're not into cosplay or you don't particularly shop costume patterns, one person's perspective, you might be turned off when it comes to this particular pattern. However, for me, what I see when I look at this pattern is I am most drawn to the corset within this pattern. Somebody else might see costume. I see corset. Now, if you look at the line drawings, I primarily like how the corset can be paired with a t-shirt or a basic top. That is a style that I have really been enjoying. I have a lot of images saved privately on my Pinterest where I have seen a lot of corsets kind of paired with basic tops. And I think it's like a great way to take a basic outfit and kind of give it a little zhuzh, or give it a little bit of oomph and add a little personal style, your own personal touch, or whatever it is that you want to call it. I think that adding a corset to any type of basic item, if you just want to elevate it and take it up a notch, I think it's a great way to do that. And the main thing that I was drawn to within this pattern is the corset, because I can see this being stitched up in a variety of different ways, especially if you are into pattern hacking or just kind of styling things and getting creative when it comes to that. This corset is just beautiful for that. So that is definitely a pattern that is on my wish list and something that I would love to add to my pattern stash. Now, the next pattern I came across is Simplicity 3096. Now, what I am most drawn to on this pattern is the sleeves, specifically in view B. The sleeves is definitely a eye catcher. I'm most drawn to it. And I feel like this is also a pattern that is definitely on trend. And I have seen this become a style, especially for those who are in an era where you're wanting to add more dresses into your wardrobe. I'm most drawn to view B and view C. And I've seen a lot of images online and other just places where I've gathered inspiration for as I start to add more dresses into my wardrobe. This gives you a very playful summer, spring type of vibe. Like, I love this dress. I think that you can wear this dress to just kind of, I don't know. I feel like I would go on a date in this dress. I would even go shopping in this dress. I would go, where else would I go in this dress? I don't know. I think that this is just like a very feminine, a very girly, foo dress. I don't know how to describe. I don't have the words at the moment to describe it, but I'm just getting very fun, playful, carefree. I don't know. It's something about this dress that I am just really drawn to. And it's mainly the sleeves of this dress. And I've seen, like I said, a few other inspiration images online that I can definitely see this dress being sewn up into. The next dress is Simplicity 3098. Now, this pattern in particular, once I get more into pattern hacking, this is a dress that I can definitely see myself stitching up in a bunch of different ways. But as it relates to the base of this dress, again, another thing that I'm most drawn to is the sleeves of this dress. I love how in view B and C of this dress, you have the sleeves that are more tailored. It's more slim fitting in the arms. And then you kind of have like a balloon sleeve more towards the end, more towards your elbow and your wrist. It kind of like flares out. It's not as fitted to the arm. So that's the main focal point of this dress that I'm most drawn to. However, I again have another inspiration image over on my Pinterest where immediately as I seen this, I was like, I know what type of fabric I want to pair with this. I know exactly like what areas I would modify so that way it can fit me. I'll have an image or video on the side of the screen so that way you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But I think with this dress in particular, if you're into pattern hacking, customization, and styling some of these patterns opposed to just what the front cover presents to you, I think a great way to kind of make this a more custom fitting look is I would take the front part of this dress. I would give myself a deep V. If you're not afraid of showing a little bit of skin, I will put some little, I think it's called eyelets, or just kind of holes in the front of the dress, so that way I can add a lace part where you can just kind of lace up the front and kind of close that V-neck. And then I will also add some ruffles along the front and the back of this dress. The dress alone by itself is just beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. But I think if you use this base of a pattern and this dress, you can definitely alter this dress in a bunch of different fun ways and just make this a very custom, tailored look. And it's something that I'm like, oh, I immediately know exactly how I would work this into my wardrobe. And I think it's just a very flattering, it's a fun, feminine, flirty, flared, just it's a gorgeous dress. And I think that this is something that is just beautiful. Now, the next item that I have on my list is Simplicity 3104. And at first glance, some folks you might see just a simple dress, but the thing that I was most inspired by, and they also have another pattern within this most recent pattern drop where they released, where they had this detachable flower. Now, at first, when I seen this, I was like, I would pick up this pattern primarily so that way I can get familiar with how to create the detachable flower. That is the main thing that is I'm most drawn to within this pattern, is the detachable flower. I feel like the skirt, it's a pretty basic skirt, and I might have other patterns within my stash that I can get away with, but it's really the detachable flower that drew me in. And then I was also watching Janae Naylor. She has this In the Closet series where she just kind of discusses a few different fashion pieces and bags that she has within her wardrobe. And in one of her episodes more recently, she touched on the Gap and the Harlem Fashion Row collection that went down at the most recent Fashion Week. And I would have never been aware of this if she had not mentioned it on her channel. But she shared a piece in particular, and I'm looking at my phone so that way I don't butcher the name, but it was the hoodie by Capio. It's a $128 hoodie. It's a gray hoodie with a detachable flower and a ruffle attached to that detachable flower. And immediately when she shared this hoodie, I was like, oh my goodness, this hoodie is gorgeous. It is just gorgeous. And then I was thinking about, these patterns that, are released. I was thinking this detachable flower, that would be a great way to kind of recreate a similar look. If you're one of the girls who have, expensive taste, but you're also just like, I'm balling on a budget. I can't just drop that 128 for a hoodie, but I want something similar where you want to elevate a piece like a hoodie or a basic, and you want to have like a similar look or a similar vibe. I think this is where this particular pattern will come into place, where you can make a detachable flower, do a little bit of pattern hacking, add some ruffles to that detachable flower, and then stick it onto a hoodie. Maybe a hoodie you already have in your closet or a hoodie you want to stitch up. Now, listen, it probably won't be as good as quality as this Harlem Fashion Row cap heel hoodie, okay? It won't be that, but I think you could get pretty darn close if you use this pattern as a base to kind of sew up something similar. I think that that is something that I would do, and that's often how I kind of get my inspiration as I'm looking for fabric to pair with some of these patterns, or as I'm just kind of getting ideas beyond the image that's presented on the front of these patterns. I'll go look up images that are out on Pinterest or do a quick little Google search. And I'm like, okay, what are some key elements within this outfit? It might be a fringe detail. It might be a flower detail. And I'm like, what are the main things within this piece that I'm most drawn to, and how can I recreate that? So if you're kind of in that same realm and you want to recreate your Pinterest inspired wardrobe, I know that that is a very on trend thing to do at the moment. This is how I would go about doing it, is just find inspiration that is out there, on the runways during these fashion weeks, or what other, you know, people within this space are talking about, seeing how you can recreate those looks. If you're just not in the space to, you know, go and drop the money to get this particular hoodie. I think the hoodie itself is absolutely gorgeous, but also you can make a dupe with this pattern. Another thing that I came across is after I seen that hoodie, I came across this blazer over on Pinterest. And again, it has a bunch of different floral pieces on the blazer. And I think it's a great way to take something that's like a simple gray or a black blazer and taking that element from this particular pattern, the detachable flower, adding it on to different parts and pieces of a blazer, so that way you can take something that might have been like a basic item and giving it a little bit of giving it a little bit of baba boom and making it your own custom and tailored piece by adding a bunch of those different flower decals onto your blazer, so that way you can take something that was traditionally like a basic, but you can also add this element, so that way you are stepping it up a notch and making it something that's more custom and unique. All right, now, so the next pattern that I have on my list is Simplicity 3110. Now, I know what some of you all are thinking. This is not a women's pattern, but this pattern caught my eye because I was like, who is this fine young man on the front of this pattern? Okay, call me. I'm playing, okay?
What a beautiful chocolate man.
But if you know me and you know my style, when I have been sharing, things that I'm into, so related here on my channel, I'm a matchy girly. And this caught my eye because I thought that this was a really nice pattern, especially for a male. So if you are someone who stitches up patterns for like a male partner or friend or whomever in your life, I thought that this was a great men's pattern, mainly because I think this is a pattern that you can wear year round. It has a short sleeve version, a long sleeve, a short, as well as a pant pattern within this. And I'm like, you get all the things within this pattern. And it also gives you kind of a cargo type of look and vibe with all the zippers and pockets. I just thought this was a really well put together pattern. And I was like, okay, Simplicity, y'all trying to give us a little eye candy with this pattern, okay? It just caught my eye. It was a whole look. And I think that if you are a male, a female, whomever, I think this is it's a nice pattern, okay? I love this pattern, love a matching set, and I just think that the marketing and the cover of this pattern, it was really well put together. It's very stylish and it's definitely giving a look. So, moving along from patterns, let's get into shoes that I have been loving that were released within the month of February. Now, as it relates to things that I'm sharing within my February faves videos, everything that I'm sharing, it might not have been released during the month of February. However, it is something that I probably came across and I was introduced to during this month, and I've been loving it and enjoying it, and I thought it would be great to share with you all. So, although it may not be newly released, it is new to me, and I just thought it would be great to share it with you all. So, moving on to the shoes category, a pair of shoes that was recently released were the Air Jordan 3s. I actually love Air Jordan 3s, but specifically this Valentine's Day Jordan, I was in love with. Pink is my color. I will wear that color year round. So when they came out with this, I just had to have it. And the name Treat Yourself, I I was just into it. I've already shared a glimpse of these shoes and what I paired these shoes with another outfit here on my channel, so you can check that out if you're interested. But I really love these shoes, and I was gifted these shoes within this month because I feel like when it comes to Gym shoes, most people know I will not go out and buy myself a pair of gym shoes. I will more so buy myself a pair of heels. And so I remember when I was younger, I think it was around tax season, or I had got good grades, and my aunt, she took my cousin and she took us to Foot Locker, and she was like, pick out whatever you want. And at the time, this was a while ago, like back in the day, they had released a pair of hot pink and black Jordans. I have those. So anytime there is a pair of pink shoes, people already know I am all over it because that's just my color. So when these came out, I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got those shoes, love it, and I can definitely see myself styling this with a number of items. I can definitely see myself styling these shoes with a number of items throughout the year. I actually have a pair of Air Jordan 3s that are blue. You all have seen those. I've styled it with a jacket, and I do plan on making another type of jacket that I can rock those days with. But the shoe of the moment for this year was definitely those Valentine's Day Jordans. Now let's get into shows. There are a few shows that I was into that released during this month. The first show was Harlem. Now, if you've seen Harlem season 1, you most definitely need to get into Harlem season 2. That came out, watched it from front to back, up, down, side to side. I have been all into it and all over it. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was even better, okay? I have not watched Sex and the City. However, I do feel like Harlem is a black version of Sex and the City, specifically when it comes to where it is just following a group of girlfriends around New York. You're just kind of getting a glimpse into their lives as it pertains to their personal relationships, their intimate relationships, their careers, and it's just how they are navigating that dynamic and just navigating their lives. You know, you're just kind of following them along. It's one of those feel good type of shows that I have really been into, and I really hope that it gets picked up for season 3, or there's just like another show recreated along those lines. I have been into it. Loved it. Love, love, love it. Cannot get enough of it. And I'll probably rewatch it again. Another show that I have been into without going too far into details about it and giving away, all the things. But I have been into Paradise. Paradise comes on Hulu. Harlem came out on Amazon Prime, but Paradise is not what you think, okay? It actually took me 3 episodes in for me to realize that they were actually living in paradise. Now, there is a scene where it actually kind of reminded me of the Hunger Games, where it's like the people living in paradise. It was like, oh, this place is not what you think it might be. It's not the Hunger Games, but it's more on the action side. And if you're into action series, this is definitely a series that you want to check out. Also, if you know me, you know I'm a Jeep type of gal. They had a few scenes where the Jeeps were just kind of pulling up and rolling in. And I was like, oh, what's about to go down? What's about to happen? Okay, I'm not going to tell you all too much, but listen, they got me with the scene with the Jeeps. It was just one of those series where it was like, I got to know what's going to happen. What's going to happen next? And you can just tell based off of the way it ended, there's definitely going to be a season 2. So if you have not seen it yet, definitely go and check out that show if you are looking for a show to get into. The next show that I have been into, it was on Netflix, and I haven't finished it yet, but it is called Younger. But the main thing that kind of got me, there was one episode where it's this woman, she's a little bit more mature, and she's trying to get back out into the dating scene. She's also trying to apply for jobs. And there's this one scene where her friend updated her email address and she changed it from, I think, like an AOL email to a Gmail. And I was like, yes, This is exactly what I'm talking about. That's how you know a thing is a thing when a show or a movie or a series names the exact thing that you've been talking about. I've talked about this in another video. So when I seen it, I was like, they get it. It's definitely a thing when it comes to hiring. People are judging people based off of their emails. It's not right. It's not right. But it's definitely like a relatable series, and you're just kind of following this woman's journey as she's just kind of getting back out there. And I have not finished it yet, but it's definitely something that's good. And I've just been kind of turning it on and checking it out. Now, let's get into skincare. A few skincare products that I have been into. One, I have got back into it, which is my facial steamer. I kind of put it on pause. I've kind of been falling off my skincare routine, but I'm getting back into it. On Sundays, I've started to steam my face. Start out with my steamer, and then I would use my ice roller before I apply all my skincare products. So my facial steamer is one thing. But then something else I came across more recently is the heating and cooling wand by TheraFace. I did not know this was a thing, but it's definitely something that I want to get because I think it's so interesting, because I do use my ice roller when I'm applying skincare products, but also on those days when I just kind of want to relax, unwind, or if I had too much screen time within one day, I use my ice roller to just kind of decompress my headaches, or just kind of decompress my muscles in my face if I'm like tense one day. And I really like the fact that this wand has a heating as well as a cooling option. So on those days where I might forget to throw my ice roller in the freezer, I'll have a wand as a backup. So now let's get into these supplements. I am on a fitness journey going into this year. So, with that being said, I have been trying out a few supplements, specifically protein shakes, and I have found two in particular that I have really been into and enjoying. The first protein shake is a weight gainer. I actually was talking to my cousin about this. We have just kind of been conversing about our own personal fitness goals. And she actually sent me this weight gainer because I was expressing to her, like, girl, I am so underweight. And she sent me this vegan weight gainer, and I really enjoy it. What I like the most about this particular weight gainer and this protein shake is it doesn't give you that chalky taste. Most protein powders or weight gainers, they have like, especially if it's vegan, it has this like chalky texture or chalky taste to it. I can't describe it, but if you're into protein powders and things, you definitely know what I'm talking about. But this particular one that I came across, it blends very well, and it doesn't give you that chalky aftertaste, and I can, get through it. Now, this particular protein shake, I don't take the recommended 4 scoops that they suggest on the back of it, just because I wasn't sure how much weight I would gain trying out this product for the very first time. But I have been doing like 2 scoops per protein shake, and I typically have 1 protein shake per day. So I have really been into that. The other protein shake, I have mentioned this particular brand so many times. That's because I truly enjoy it. I have a subscription for this particular protein shake because it tastes really good. The specific flavor that I enjoy from Koya is the chocolate banana protein shake. Most protein shakes have about 10 to 15 grams of protein. This particular shake has 20, so I think that it's on the higher tier of amount of protein that you can get within a shake. They also just came out with a protein shake that has 32 grams of protein. So I really like this brand because it tastes good, and also they have a high amount of protein packed within their shake. So I have really been into it. I've been enjoying it, and I'm going to say this as much as I can. I am manifesting some type of brand partnership or collaboration with them because that's how much I have really been into this particular shake. The next thing that I have on my list is software. For those who know me, you know I am a podcaster, and some software that I have been using, especially since I just wrapped up my podcast. I have been using Riverside FM, which is a podcasting software, but they also have some editing tools within there. And I think I'm going to do a completely separate video to talk more about it. But I have been enjoying using Riverside FM for editing and just doing some podcast relating things. I also want to test it out when it comes to editing videos with it. That will again be a completely different video. But as it relates to podcasting, I do have a discount code and affiliate link in the description box below if you want to check it out and try it out for yourself. Again, I'm going to work on putting together just a completely separate video because I think that the software is so intricate and it has a bunch of different moving pieces that you can use. If you are somebody who is a content creator, podcaster, or you make and edit videos, I think that this is definitely a tool that might be right up your alley because it has a ton of different features in it, from audio to different editing techniques. It's just a bunch of different things in there. And yeah, I'm just really excited that I came across this tool. I've been enjoying it. This is just one of the tools that I have been implementing into my content creation workflow and process. So that's all I have to share with you all as it relates to my February faves. These are all the things that I have been into, I've been loving and enjoying. One other thing I want to leave you all with before I wrap up this video is, okay, don't get it twisted. Just because I know how to sew my own clothes, that does not mean I also do not enjoy shopping for clothes. I am not going to be one of those people where now that I know how to sew, I will completely, disregard going shopping for clothes. There are some things where I may not be able to find fabric or something in a particular style, and I may not just want to sit down and sew it up, okay? Like sometimes I do just want to run into a store, pick out an outfit. If it's really cute, I'm probably not going to find something in this particular fabric or material. Not everything is at the fabric store, and especially since we just had the recent closing of a lot of the Joann's. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Your girl still loves to shop. So I just wanted to put that out there in case anybody was confused about that. Your girl can shop, okay? So let me know if you like this video where I got a chance to sit down and to share with you all a few things that I'm enjoying and loving, and let me know in the comments a few things that you're currently into and things that you are thinking about checking out. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye.